The Texas killing fields are explored in a new crime scene series on Netflix. Let's see if it's worth your time. Hey everybody, my name's Justin here. I try to watch everything that hits theaters and on streaming services like Netflix. If you guys are like me, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below for more up and coming content. An overgrown field and a stretch of highway connect a series of grisly murders spanning several decades as grieving families search for answers. The latest season of Crime Scene on Netflix focuses on 3 bodies of young women who were discovered in the areas in the 1980s, and a 4th was found in 1991. Decades later, the cases are still cold. What I appreciate about Crime Scene in its 3rd season and the previous 2 seasons is that it focuses on the location, the Texas killing fields. It shows the victims and the suspects and everybody and a lot of people involved in this Texas killing fields. While the show dives deep into these cases and the different suspects and spanning decades of women that have gone missing and families wanting answers, but at its core, it shows how this one location is a place where people have dumped bodies, and how the Texas killing fields has become a place where it's hard to find bodies of missing people or get answers for grieving families. So while it does dive deep into cases, it really is centered around this location. Within these 3 episodes, about 55 minutes long, your average length of a documentary episode on Netflix, you span several decades. You get several different cases, several different suspects, and their involvement. And you have interviews from people that were involved in the case and people that were victims. So those conversations are really emotional and hard to watch. And you see the police officers and investigators involved and everybody that has not stopped looking or finding answers. There's some really hard conversations in here, and you see the families who will do anything to protect their daughters or get answers. And as a father myself, and I have a daughter, it was really hard to listen to some of these conversations and hear those raw personal conversations, and the emotions are just flowing throughout these scenes. So this documentary does capture how intense and important these cases are, and how the police didn't investigate it as much. And if they would have found the bodies or investigating some of these reports, some of the families would have had answers earlier on. And the 3rd episode covers how technology has changed, and now they can get answers to cases prior, several decades ago. Sometimes when you watch these Netflix documentaries, you're wondering, is it just for Netflix because they realize how popular these crime documentaries are and they just need to pump these out? But also, a lot of them are shining light on these cases and how police aren't involved in wanting to get information on some of these cases that aren't solved. So it's a way for Netflix to also bring some awareness to some of these cases and try to get some answers. But at its core, it's centered on the Texas killing fields. And when you look at this long stretch of land and these fields and how people have dumped bodies there and buried bodies, it's heartbreaking and emotional to listen to, but also very haunting. The way that they discuss the Texas killing fields and just the name itself sends chills down your spine. We have the footage of the court cases and the interviews and all of that. It's all centered around the Texas killing fields and the suspects and the victims involved and those true emotions coming out. They really utilize those 3 episodes to set the tone for the documentary, how chilling the Texas killing fields is, and then also bring in awareness to these cases and the footage as well. And those are terrifying in its own way when listening to the people that are the suspects, and people really think that they are the killers of these young women and how they tried to manipulate everything. Those conversations are really hard to watch. But this documentary series was hard to watch, but it was haunting at times. The way that they discussed the Texas killing fields and they showed the map of it all. It's just a huge field, and it's crazy that so many cases went unsolved in this one location in the Texas killing fields. But that 3rd episode, like the last 10-15 minutes of it, they start to get answers for some cases and how technology has changed, but still they're fighting for these unsolved answers and fighting to have people locked behind bars that were involved with it. And it's a chance for the victims to share their stories. As we see in many different documentaries, the end is the time for the victims to come forth. And if you have any information to share, this is the time. And so it has that really nice balance in here. In Crime Scene, these are cases that I'm baffled that have happened, and it's upsetting to watch. And the way that Netflix presents these documentaries, it's always emotional, and they always bring the true personal conversations forth while also creating that haunting tone throughout. So before I give you my score for Crime Scene Texas Killing Fields on Netflix, make sure to check out my channel. Here I do movie reviews, trailer actions, ranking videos, tier lists, all that fun movie related content that you see on YouTube. I do it all here, so hit that subscribe button to get it all in one spot. I'm gonna go ahead and give Crime Scene Texas Killing Fields a B. Thank you guys for checking my review for Crime Scene Texas Killing Fields on Netflix. Have you guys seen it by chance? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Just Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.